former vice captain of the 13th Division, Rukia's direct superior, the eldest son of the fallen noble Shiba family, and the older brother of Kukaku and Iwashi. In order to avenge his wife, he fought Hollows alone, but fused with his spirit body and died in battle. Kaien Shiba. Taking advantage of the reach of his Zanpakuto, Nejika, he is a character who excels at mid to close range combat. By using his unique techniques and spiritual pressure techniques too, he becomes wrapped in water currents, which increases the damage he inflicts on his opponents, so you'll want to use them aggressively. He also has a variety of easy to use techniques, including counterattack techniques with invincible periods and techniques that can be incorporated into combos, allowing for a solid and honest fighting style. Based off this description right here, he is a mid to close range, always wants to be in your face type of attacker, and that is right up my alley. I might actually be a secret Kaien Shiba fan. Let's go take a look at some of his stats. Kaien is a 5-star ease of use character. His attack power is average, his speed is above average, his reach is average, his defense is average, and his reliance on special techniques is low. The first thing that they show us in the trailer is his unique specification, Water Flow State. By hitting the enemy with a unique technique or spiritual pressure technique 2, the enemy will be wrapped in a water current state. During this state, the number of hits from spear attacks will increase and the damage and guard reduction value will increase as well. With Kaien, I'm not sure if this meter works in the same way that Hollybells works, where it's like, okay, as you're building it up, the more it's built up, the more potent that it'll be, and then it'll deplete faster as well. Or if it's more so the water current state only activates once the gauge is completely filled, and then when it depletes all the way, you have to fill it back again. I'm not entirely sure. If this is more so a state where he gets into it when the meter is filled, I think he's actually going to be pretty nasty, because that means he has the entire duration of it going down for it to last. But it may also work in a similar way to where as he builds it up, it gives him more and more of a boost. So I am not too sure about that, but they said that his unique technique and his spiritual pressure technique 2 are the ones that you would use to build this gauge up. So let's go ahead and actually look at his unique technique. His unique skill, Whirlpools. While holding down the button, the spear will rotate, and when the button is released, it will stab into the ground and attack the surroundings. After activation, the player will be surrounded by water currents, and the duration of the effect will increase depending on the time the spear is rotated. So based on how long you hold the button down is how long the effect will last. And I actually think they showed us this during his awakening. Yeah, I think that this is exactly what they showed us, the very first thing that they showed us in his awakening. I think that that is his unique skill right there, and that's pretty cool. It's kind of an AoE move similar to Aizen's, but it has a better effect because it also builds up his meter, and I'm assuming that Whirlpool will either go farther or it will last longer in that area that we see it encompass in the trailer, depending on how long you hold the button down. Then they show us his spiritual pressure technique 1, Reverse Wave. It thrusts the spear towards the opponent's feet and then slashes upward to attack. It is effective to take advantage of the invincible period when it is activated and use it to read the opponent's attack and intercept it. If you could just throw this out on block, then it would work as a DP. I don't know if you'll be able to do that unless there's like a huge gap in the block string for you to pull that off. But outside of that, it's more so an intercept technique to use when you see your opponent is either throwing out something or trying to close the distance in neutral with something unsafe. That's how I'm assuming it's going to be used. And I don't think it has very much forward momentum on it. Maybe it just looks like that because of how close Rukia was to begin with. But this looks like something you really will use to try to punish an opponent doing something to you in the same way that you would use Kenpachi's special flash attack. I think that's really how you're going to get the most out of this move. And then you'll probably be able to use it in the middle of combos or as a combo ender as well. I can see you following it up with a yellow reverse and then continuing a combo as well. So hopefully he has some pretty decent combo potential. Then they show us his spiritual pressure technique 2, Water Break, a charge attack while slashing with the spear. If it hits, it will launch a water water current attack and be wrapped in the water current for a certain period of time. So this is the one that will also build up your unique gauge. Oh, and this one has a lot of forward momentum on it, and it's very, very quick as well. So I can see this one having a lot of viability throwing it out in neutral, as long as it's not like super duper unsafe. I can see this being the main move that between this and Whirlpools, the main moves that he's going to be used to not only build up his meter and keep it built up, but to just actually play the game and get in your face and play at the range that he likes to play. And then his awakening, Shikai Twisted Flower. By increasing the output of Shikai and Nejika, its performance has been strengthened. There is no major change in how it can be used, but it becomes easier to maintain the water current state for a long time. Just like normal, it is possible to attack with a sense of stability by taking advantage of the reach. Nothing crazy changes, but your aura gauge depletes slower, which means to me, it leads to the, okay, once your gauge is fully maxed out, that's when you will start getting the benefits. I wonder what you guys think, though. Definitely let me know how you think his gauge will work. If it's as you build it up, you can use it no matter what, as long as you have a little bit, and then when you awaken, it'll deplete slower, or it'll just stack until it's completely filled, and then when you awaken, once it's full, it'll deplete slower. Definitely let me know what you guys think. But I think it's going to be like that, and his awakening doesn't do much except for make that last longer, which is, it's kind of disappointing. He's a really simple, straightforward character, but they really don't have a lot to work with just his Kaien Shiba version based off of what's in the show. So I'm still surprised that we saw him as Kaien and not as Eronyeti. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce his name. So yeah. Let's go take a look at some comments. The homie Ali said, I've never put too much stock in the idea that more than just the revealed characters will be part of roster when the game drops, but Kaien being a character makes that more plausible for me. Even though he doubles as Eronyero, the only characters left that I want to see are Baragan and Orihime. The Cope won't. And it's not Cope. She's in the game. She's in the game. My uncle works at Bleach Game America headquarters, and he told me a while ago that Orihime's in the game, so you don't have to worry about that. But yeah, no, honestly, even if the characters that we have now, I'm perfectly fine with the roster size. I think a huge roster is just kind of something people want when they don't actually play video games at a hyper competitive level, fighting games in particular, because the amount of lab time it takes to even learn a character. Let's say you're a super genius, you put 1 hour into a character and you have them completely mastered. If there's 40 characters in the roster, that's 40 hours that you have to put in to master everybody on offense and defense in the roster, which is a literal full-time job. That's literally a week's worth of work at a full-time job. Nobody's trying to do all that. Nobody wants to have to learn all of those characters from not only an offensive standpoint, but a defensive standpoint. And once you start getting into the hundreds of characters type of area like Sparking Zero, you're running into a lot of clone characters. And I think that this game in particular, the uniqueness from character to character stands out so much, and it's such a huge selling point that I'm glad that they're keeping the roster within expectations around that like 30 to 40 number. When I first was covering the game, before I realized what type of game it was, I was on the side of like, okay, give us 50 characters, give us 60 characters. But the more I've covered the game, the more I've seen the way characters play, I don't even think I want that. Not without DLC or possibly a second game. So yeah, and I definitely think we're going to be getting Orihime as well. And hopefully Baragan does not get skipped. The homie Joven said, so yeah, I'm assuming that maybe Eronyero will be a skin, which we have seen in the previous trailer. So kind of like how White is going to be for Ichigo, Cope Harder. That changes your voice lines and your Kikon move. That way they can do 2 characters in one, which fits the series because of what Eronyero is, and it saves a character slot. Expecting Baragan next week, and that's it. Oh, so you think they're going to stop after Baragan? That's pretty controversial, but dude, I love the fact that White being a skin, what we're assuming White is going to be a skin, instead of a character taking up a character slot, opens up so many things when it comes to DLC, because we can get 4 characters and 4 outfits or skins, which means we can get 1000 Year Blood War arc versions of characters with new movesets without taking a character slot on the DLC pass or in the menu, and they just have a skin. Like, imagine an Old Man Yamamoto skin when he has his Bankai for 1,000-Year Blood War. Like, that would be gas, and I'm pretty sure that's how Storm does things in their character select. Like, they have, obviously they have the multiple versions of characters, but they also have the versions of characters you can select that will change the super move too. So that's super duper cool. I love the fact that that's something that we can look forward to. And lastly, the homie Callout said, I'm a little disappointed, but hopefully that changes when the advanced breakdown drops. Let me know. Yeah, bro, let me know if this changed your mind at all. If Aaron, don't know how to spell its name, is not a part of him, then this roster sucks. But I do have hope that they will reveal a multitude of characters on the last reveal. Fingers crossed. I don't think this roster will suck. Even if we don't get him as a playable character and it literally is just a skin or something for story mode, I don't think this roster sucks. I think this is honestly one of the best rosters in a fighting game that you can ask for at launch. And then coming from fighters that had like 24 or 26 or something characters at launch, like, this is a godsend to me. So I am super duper excited. Make sure you guys let me know what you think. Leave your comments below. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe as well. Also, join the Discord. We discuss everything Bleach, a bunch of different channels over there. If there's any Discord members watching this video, leave your testimony down below and tell other people they need to join too. Join the militia and have fun. As it pertains to the other advanced breakdowns, Stark I will try to drop tomorrow, then either Sajin or Ikkaku, and then whoever's left after that. I wanted to do something special and get some props for the Sajin and Ikkaku advanced breakdowns, but we might just have to save that for the character guide when I drop those when the game actually comes out, because I don't want it to get to a point where I'm waiting so long to be able to get the props that I don't end up making the videos and deprive you guys of the information that you want. So yeah, definitely let me know what you think. It's been real. It's your boy, Lee the Warlord, and I'm out of here. Peace.
Fuck, I'm a gangsta. Yeah. Yeah.